All right, what's poppin', people? It's Xzavier Antonio. You know what it is. It's another In Conversation podcast session, and today we have the wonderful Miss Christine. Let's back it up. This is an exquisite diva. Miss Christine Watson is in the building. How you doing today, Christine?
I'm good. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely. Anytime. We love to have you on the show, man. I think that you are definitely one of those who really gets it. You know what I'm saying? As far as being an entrepreneur, as far as working hard, managing, balancing life. I mean, we all get it, but you get it. You get it. And so before we even get started into talking about, you know, what it is or some of the struggles of being an entrepreneur, you and your partner, Trish Malone, the Exquisite Divas, who do event planning, has a fashion show coming up.
Absolutely.
That's going to be August 20th.
August 20th.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I had the opportunity to see the models rehearsing and all of that.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
It looks like you guys, as far as like casting calls and recruiting models, recruiting talent, looks like you guys know what you're doing.
A little bit. We like to think we know. Yeah.
You know, I think that in Milwaukee, sometimes people do put together shows, fashion shows, and just some of everybody can model. You know, they do these pointless casting calls, and you know, like, you know, this girl can't walk. You know this girl. You know what I'm saying? It's just it you know, but to each his own. But it seems like you guys have some young women with a lot of experience, and fellas too, with some actual experience and who know a little bit about what they're doing.
Yeah. So some of the models actually that you got a chance to see yesterday are actually new, have never modeled, have never walked. So we're kind of, you know, taking them under our wing a little bit, grooming them so we can get them right. The way they need to be. So
you and Trish, you guys are doing like the model coaching for them with this as well? Okay, that's what's up. That is what's up.
Yes.
So that sounds like it's going to be another business opening up.
maybe down the line. Right now, we got enough on our plate.
Just focusing on this show and getting the business started, plus the other business that you have.
Yeah.
But the name of the show is called, you know, Diamond in the Rough. And obviously many of us have heard that phrase before, and for the most part we get it, but let's hear it from you. Why did you guys name this particular show Diamonds in the Rough?
Well, so what it is me and Trish have like created a platform for ourselves. We both are internationally published. She's been on billboards and doing her thing, popping. She's been in Atlanta. Me likewise. I've modeled in shows out of town as well, but we've created this platform over the last couple of years, so we have, you know, a good following base, a lot of exposure for ourselves. So what we wanted to do, the whole idea behind Diamonds in the Rough, was to bring out other underexposed talent in the city, to give them a platform to get exposed for other small business entrepreneurs, because I'm a small business owner, and so sometimes when we're small business owners, we don't know how to promote ourselves, how to market ourselves, where to go, who to talk to. So that was the kind of the idea behind it, was to give other small business owners, designers, boutiques, just up and coming artists, because we're gonna have artists performing there as well.
You guys have some vendors too?
We're definitely gonna have vendors. We're still looking for vendors, so if anybody wants to be a vendor, please reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a lot of opportunity for exposure right there. I like the concept of these may be individuals who definitely deserve more exposure.
Absolutely.
And there's definitely going to be some people in the audience and people even watching online who are going to be learning about some of these designers and these vendors and even some of these models for the first time. You know what I mean? So that is a great concept. Now, as an entrepreneur, you know, organizing things, sometimes it could be a little bit rough. And we also have to balance our life as well, which is one of the things which is one of the things that you and I kind of dived into in our last session. How sometimes, you know, when you're working on your custom kicks, your exquisite custom kicks,
yes.
When
or
you're working
EK2s.
On EK2s. When you're doing that, like, that could be somewhat of a stress reliever. As an entrepreneur specifically, have you ever had those times and those days where you wanted to give up? It was just that overwhelming or anything? Yeah,
absolutely. That's almost every other day.
What kind of, you know, if you could just think of even just one example, what kind of factors may at times contribute to feeling that way? You know what I mean? Because first of all, you're passionate about everything that you do, right? And so it's interesting to know that even the things that we're passionate about, we could feel like, yeah, I'm done today.
It's too much. Like, yeah, it's too much. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, I got to get up. I got to do this. I got to be a mom. I got to clean the house. I got to deal with the kids. But then I'm like, dang, I got my clients over here that keep coming back, that keep reaching out, that keep wanting me to book a trip or wanting me to, you know, make them something custom. Yeah. And that's what keeps me kind of moving forward with it, is the fact that I know that I got other people that need something that I have.
Yeah.
And so if I can be that light for somebody else, that's kind of what keeps me motivated to keep, you know, going. But yeah, absolutely. Definitely I get overwhelmed sometimes because it's like a lot. Yeah. And it hits you all at once.
Absolutely. And I feel like you kind of put yourself in in somewhat of a pickle, but it's a good pickle. Like, you know, with your clothing brand being pushed through apparel, it's like, even if I wanted to give up, I'd have messed around and called my company Push Through Apparel. So I ain't got no choice.
But see, well, yeah, it's a good pickle. Yeah. It can be bad at times, but yeah, it's a good pickle. But the reason why, though, is because that was the whole idea concept behind the brand. When I needed, when I felt like I wanted to give up the most, when I was dealing with cancer, going through that, I couldn't. Because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children that were my reasons why. Yeah. So I had to continue to push. So yeah, it's a daily reminder, but that's why I named the brand what I named it. Yeah, so,
I mean, and I think it could be a great positive affirmation to yourself.
It is. Know what I'm saying? So, it is. That was the point.
Yeah,
that was the point.
I have a you know, I don't have a brand just yet, you know, clothing brand or anything, but I do have on my home screen on my phone, I have the words, take back your life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's like one of those positive affirmations for me. It helps me kind of get through the day. If it's, I'm fiending for, you know what I mean, a cigarette, you know what I mean, or somebody that made me mad or whatever the case may be, as soon as I see that on my phone, it helps me kind of like collect myself again,
and refocus and get back to it.
I can't let trials, tribulations, people, things just take over my life. Like, wait a minute, you know what? You're taking over.
Right,
I'm gonna take this back. And that works out in other people's favor. You know, nobody gets smacked that day. You know what I mean?
That day. You know, that's funny that you mentioned that you got that on your phone. Like, I made a post yesterday and I said, today's word for today is unbothered. Yeah. I know a few ex-girlfriends like that.
Unbothered. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see my call, you don't care. Anyway, so what are, you know, we know that, I'm gonna let you answer it. What are some of the things that help you to push past, and you kind of just talked about it, you know what I'm saying, the kids, doing the clothing. Is there any other things that help you to push past those times where you're feeling like, man, I'm done?
The fact that I feel like things that I've gone through can help somebody else. Yeah. My story being one of them. Like, I have an amazing story that I have yet to tell, and I will one day. Yeah. At some point. Today ain't that day though. But the fact that I feel like what I've been through and the things that I've endured and the things that I've come across and had to go through, that I can help somebody with that. So that's kind of what keeps me going. Yeah.
Well, which kind of brings me to my next question.
Oh, Lord.
You don't have to, but if you don't mind, can you give a piece of that story that, you know, that helped you become this person that's dedicated to pushing past, you know what I'm saying, any issues? Just a little piece of the story.
It's everything. It's everything I've had to endure. Like, I ain't gonna go too deep, but I'll say this, like, I've had nothing. I've had everything, and then I lost everything in the blink of an eye. Like 3 days before Christmas in 2010, I had a house fire. I was 7.5 months pregnant with my twins, and I lost everything I owned. So I had to rebuild. I had to regain. I've been homeless before. A while back, years ago, with my first child. She's now 20. So I've gone through some things, you know. After my twins were born, they both died. Literally. They flatlined for 11 minutes at the same time. Yeah, that freaky twin thing. But those types of things that I've been through is why I feel like my story is so significant and it needs to be told eventually. You know, but that's just a little piece of it, and that's just, outside of myself. I hadn't even got to myself yet. You know what I mean? So it's everything I've been through.
Yeah, and I know we all have a story. Everybody has something that they've been through, but I feel like some of us it's just something in us where it's giving up isn't an option. I mean, we got to keep living, you know, especially when you got responsibilities, this, that, and the other.
Right.
But it's just like I thought about anytime I've ever thought about giving up or just stopping, which I've barely ever done. But anytime I had those moments, then I would sit still for a minute and be like, okay, then what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to do anything else but what I've been doing, which is keep living, which is keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what giving up really looks like. You know what I mean?
Me either. Like when you've been a fighter all your life, how do you just stop? How do you not function when you're so used to moving around and doing things and being busy? How do you just sit still? I don't know how to sit still. I don't know what that look like. I don't know what a vacation day look like, because even when I was on vacation, I was working.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
So you know what I'm saying? Like I had to literally make myself go put my phone down. But for me, when it comes to that, like I ask myself all the time, like if God didn't give up on me, why am I giving up on myself? Yeah. And that also keeps me grounded.
Absolutely.
You know, so
that'll bring me to my last question. What advice would you give yourself today?
What advice would I give myself today? What advice would I give myself today? Would my younger self give myself today?
No. What would your right now self?
Oh, my right now self.
Because a lot of times we do that. We'll be like, oh, if you can go back and tell your younger self this, you know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, that's cool. I get that.
Right.
But what about today, though? You know
today?
What I'm saying? Like, you think about, and you got to tell us what it is, but as far as like what you might have experienced this morning, or maybe there was a moment or whatever it is, if you were struggling with anything today, what advice would you be giving yourself today? Get
up. You got this. Keep going. You have reasons why you need to keep going. So get up and do it. You got it. You know, I didn't want to get out the bed this morning. Literally. Like, some people don't know, like, aside from me having cancer, like, I also have autoimmune diseases. And I struggle with fibromyalgia, which is an inflammation thing that attacks your joints. So sometimes when I get up after walking in heels, I get swollen. My muscles they hurt a lot. And it's one of them things you don't see, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? So when I wake up in the morning, my first steps most times are excruciating. But I still got to get up and go to work. I still got to get up and show up for my business, show up for myself, show up for my kids. So yeah, I'd say you got it.
Yeah.
That'd be my advice.
and I would add something to that advice is push through.
Literally.
Push through.
Literally.
And one of my favorite things to say is that there is something on the other side of this push. You know what I'm saying? And it's exactly what's been promised. So thank you so much, Christine, for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And I hope those of you who are watching on YouTube and Facebook and all of that, I hope that you take something from this. And if you don't take nothing else from it, push through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whenever you're having those days, I need you to, and then on August 20th, I need you to push through to this Diamond in the Ruff Fashion Show.
Yes,
that has been organized, put together by the Exquisite Divas.
Tickets are on sale.
Tickets are on sale, and how can I get the tickets now?
So right now, tickets are on Ticket Leap. If you go to our Facebook page, Exquisite Divas, we have it posted. You can go to my page, Christine Watson. I have it posted there as well. You can hit my inbox. I am on Instagram. Mrs. Changing My Ways is my Instagram page. You can catch it there. It's posted. Reach out. Please reach out.
Absolutely. Get those tickets, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, we thank you so much for tuning in, and y'all have an awesome and wonderful life.